I did want to talk about this whole Rafi Devers situation. It's a little old now, but I had some ideas on possible trades because they're saying that it's not impossible for Rafael Devers to get traded. I think it's very unlikely because of the money that is still owed to him. There's a lot of money that's still owed to him. So anybody that picks up Devers right now, I think based on his attitude and people around the game saying, oh, he might not be a great teammate, I think anybody who wants Devers is going to have to pick up some of that cash. So I'm going to give you 5 trade proposals, and you tell me if I'm stupid or I'm smart. Trade proposal number 1. Devers to the New York Mets for Beatty, a prospect, and cash.
So the Mets for Beatty. Interesting. Is this so? Would you want this if you were the New York Mets? You got Mark Vientos right now as listed as a DH, but he's third base.
No,
right?
Vientos is our third baseman, so you would be
But
putting Devers.
Beatty right now is listed as your third baseman.
Well,
maybe
he's
it's because
playing
of
everywhere.
Vientos' glove until his glove gets fixed.
Well, yes.
But it looks good. Yeah, it looks really good, but the ball went straight through. And then he stayed in the game with the same glove.
I don't think he even
How do you
realized
do
it.
that? How
I
do
don't
you
think
not
he even realized it.
What'd you
Or
say?
maybe someone fixed the webbing while he was on the bench or something.
I don't think what I was reading is I don't think he got a new glove. He stayed out on the field with the glove that the ball went straight through.
Now, the only reason, getting back to this, the only reason why I think that it might work with the Mets is Rafael Devers is Hispanic. I don't know if he has any friends on that team. You know, the Latin players tend to know the Latin players. Black players tend to know the black players. It's always been that way. So that's the only question I have. Does he know any of those guys and he can affect that clubhouse? So I'm not sure.
If I'm the Mets, I'd do it. I don't know if they want to take on that money for losing the prospect, and Beatty's still only a year in.
Well, they're going to have to. The Red Sox would have to give some cash, like $100 million.
Would have to. Again, if you had to do it, if I'm there if I'm the Mets, I do it.
Okay. Next, here's one that people have been really talking about. So I have a proposal: Devers to Philly for Alec Boehm, Orion Kerkering, and cash.
I do that if I'm the Phillies without even thinking about it.
Okay.
I do that. The only problem is then you get into a tricky spot where you need the worst fielding third baseman in the league to field at third base, because he's not taking over Schwarber, and he's not going to take over for when Castellanos needs a DH or day off or something, or Bryce Harper needs a day to DH. That's the problem is then you're replacing Alec Boehm with the worst fielding third baseman in baseball.
Yep.
I don't want that defense to get worse.
All right. Devers, this one's a little out there. Devers to the Chicago White Sox for Lewis Robert and
the
cash.
Entire minor league of the White Sox.
No, Lewis Robert and cash.
I'm not doing it if I'm the Red Sox. From the White Sox, I don't even. Let's go. White Sox are hell yeah. Luis Roberts, to me, Luis Roberts has so little value. I know, like the dude's hitting 190.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of him. He's 5 years into the big leagues, and he's gotten worse every time. I get it, he's on a bad team right now. Like, if Rafael Devers is making $30 million, the White Sox are gonna probably have to pay him like $500 of that. Like, there's so much. You're not getting anything. Oh, sorry. No, I mean the other way around. Like, the White Sox would have to take on like the whole contract because you're not getting anything back for a guy who is hitting currently, like Devers in his last 7 is hitting 444.
But if you're the White Sox, now you have a face of the franchise and you have a guy that other free agents
you'd have to give up a lot more. That's what I'm saying. I was like, you're gonna have. They're not the Red Sox are not giving cash on that trade. You're giving nothing for a all-star.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They would have to give Luis Roberts Jr. and then you're going down that
some
prospect
prospects,
list and picking a couple.
Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Basically, it would be Devers and cash and some minor league for Matt Shaw with the Cubs.
Ooh. That's an interesting one because right now the Cubs aren't doing anything with Shaw. He's sitting there waiting. Cubs are playing great baseball. He's the third baseman, right? And you got John Birdie
Yeah.
right now playing third base. I still don't understand the whole thing why he's not just sitting in the big leagues, just playing every single day.
Right.
Cubs. If I'm the Cubs, I do it. I think this pops me over the hump,
Mm-hmm.
but it might have to be like a 1-for-1.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
finally,
don't. I'm so bad on these trades. You're better than me on trades.
here's my last one. And this one, you're going to be like, you're an idiot, but I have a thought process on this.
Yeah.
Rafael Devers for Mike Trout. Money matches up. The Red Sox are in a position to win now. You might be able to squeeze out a couple of seasons of Trout, and all of a sudden, the Angels have a young player with almost the same money as Mike Trout that they can rebuild with.
So right now, Rafaela is in center field. Obviously, Duran who can't play out there and all that stuff. Are you going to put Trout at DH?
Yeah, DH and first. I can see the
He's
wheels
causing enough
spinning.
of a trouble in that clubhouse. I do it if I'm the Red Sox. The only problem is, like, I don't know if he's actually causing problems in the clubhouse. I think he's causing problems for the front office and the coaching staff. That's who he's pissing off. I don't know if man for man, the 26 in that locker room is actually all that mad at him. They're probably disappointed at the end of the day if he's crushing the ball. And probably a lot of them are like, hey, Rafi, like, we got your back. They've asked you to switch, and then they'll ask you to switch again. And they didn't tell you to switch the first time. They just like showed up. Hey, by the way, we signed a third baseman. You're now DH.
Yeah.
I think probably a lot of the players are like kind of like F you, Craig Breslow. And so I think a lot of players probably have his back, and they're like, dude, like, we're good, Rafi. Like, you're good with us because of how they treated you. And that's my biggest problem with this whole thing. I want to hate Rafi Devers, and I'm still sitting here saying, be a goddamn teammate. Step up. Like, usually your ball player. They don't have to tell you and hold your hand your whole career. You didn't sign the contract with Craig Breslow. At the same time, you should honor it and respect it. And he's a Major League Baseball player, and he's your best baseball player. You should have had all of these conversations beforehand.
Yeah.
But they didn't. But that's still, just because they didn't, that doesn't give you the right to be a dick.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Just because they didn't treat you with respect doesn't mean you're a dick back and a dick to 26 other dudes. And when man down, you don't step up. Like, the 2004 Red Sox, with everything they went to and all their whole like rah, the next man up, that kind of deal. It doesn't matter what would have happened. They're like, done. Like, David Ortiz, first base, done. Like, he wouldn't even thought about it. There's so many other problems with this too. The fact that they weren't preparing him for any other position, like they should have told him, hey, if something happens, we're still going to need you, and these two positions are probably it. You've played center field before, but we can get you into these other positions, third base, first base. Like, we might need you at some point. Just take reps. I don't even know if they were doing that.
Yeah.
For as smart as Craig Breslow is,
he acted pretty stupid.
Something has been missed on this, and again, that's the hard part of the job. You are no longer. A lot of people think the GM's the analytics guy. He's not. He's the people person. He's the guy that goes through and makes sure everybody's on track. Everybody's getting talked to. The communication is clear across the whole board. He's the manager of it all. And then he makes the other people are the analytics nerds. He needs to understand the analytics and get away from it and go talk to the players every day. Go make sure they're communicating. Make sure you have to be 2 steps ahead of everybody. That doesn't mean you're understanding. You're sitting there diving into the numbers. The numbers guy dives into the numbers and puts his head in the computer for 2 weeks. You have to go through and walk and talk and make sure the manager's on page every single day. The pitching coach, the players, the pitchers, everybody's prepping. Hey, have you talked to Rafi in case of an injury? Is he prepping for first base? Is he okay with that? He's not okay? Let's talk. Oh, by the way, Chris and Cassis went down. We don't even bring it up to him. We bring somebody up, or we bring somebody else into first base. So none of these things happen. So when the media says Rafi Devers plays first base, no. Our plan is to this. We told Rafi to be a DH. That's what he's going to do. That's on us. we got this guy to cover first base. They
Are
didn't
you?
do any of that. That's what a great GM does, and that's why some of these GMs you see stick around forever. They're so many steps ahead of time. Like you've only seen Brian Cashman start to break a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
Like you see cracks with Brian Cashman, but immediately gets cemented over and repainted, and then all of a sudden he has all the right answers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Stanton goes down. Dude, we haven't heard a word about that.
Nope.
You didn't hear, oh my God, the world's falling apart. He's like, we got it. We're prepped.
Yeah.
Like you get an injury here. You see Cabrera, right? Break his leg. Or Trevino? No, who was it?
It was Walter Cabrera.
Cabrera breaks his leg and ankle in half. You're like, we got it. Like next man up, but we're ready and prepared. And that's why like a Billy Bean kind of like just keeps like going, because they always have the answer for all the problems. Billy Bean might have there might be other issues there, but
Right. I'm just really shocked that this has gotten to the point where it has, with all these potential clubhouse problems, when you have probably the nicest, best communicator as a manager. I find that interesting.
yeah,
Um,
and sometimes you have there's holes without you even ever realizing there's holes. And
yeah,
again, they're always handcuffed to whatever they can tell a player by what the front office wants you to be able to communicate.
correct. Crap situation. Yeah, and of course I have a whole bunch of Devers cards that I was hoping to sell.
Oh, it'll be good. He'll be again. The dude also crushes, and like it doesn't take long to love. Like he hits a giant walk-off home run against the Yankees in a playoff game, and all of a sudden he's the biggest hero in the world.
Yeah, and if you want said cards, all you got to do is go to eBay and look up J&J collect sports cards, sports cards with a Z, and we'll put a link in the description. So yeah, feel free to go buy some stuff, because it is not cheap running this show. I need some money. Finally, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually have to admit that I'm wrong.
You're always wrong.
The hell with you.
You just don't admit it.